Hello again everyone, Dadhichi here from Astrology.com.au, talking to you from Venice Beach in California, here on the next leg of my journey, and obviously conspicuously absent from the YouTube channel for a while. I've been pretty busy trying to get a lot of my books sewn up for the 2010 series, so I apologise if you haven't had a chance to hear from me, but I'm here and just travelling through, just negotiating some exciting stuff for Astrology.com.au, soulconnector.com. We've got some big plans for that, facereader.com, some of the other online properties that I've been trying to develop, and of course here I like to bring it all together in a video format on YouTube. The interesting thing being here in America, I guess the hot button for a lot of news and media just now is the economic downturn, and we started talking about this. I wanted to make some fairly bold statements based upon not only my astrological assessment of the US and the global markets, but based upon my own intuition and what I feel is happening, and of course a touch of common sense, which we can blend pragmatically to come up with some significant sorts of statements. The important thing to note here just now is that in the early 70s the US dollar was unpegged from the gold standard. What's been happening actually since around 1913 is that the US dollar has actually been losing a lot of value. Some economists think probably up to around 90% of that value. The problem you've got in the West, and this discrepancy between the haves and the have-nots, is the propensity over the last 30, 40 years to consume more and more and more. That's fine if you've got a balance there in an economy which is producing. Unfortunately, the US hasn't had that, and the importation of all these electronic gadgets and modern technologies from the East, such as China, Japan, Korea, has really turned the US into a gluttonous nation. That's okay, but if you're not producing, then the balance of trade is going to be thrown right out of whack. And what's happened here is that deficits have been growing in the US, and now the Chinese, who are owed a lot of money, and some of these other Eastern countries that are owed a lot of money, are now in a bit of a pickle, because obviously they've been loaning money to the US so that the gluttonous ones can continue to purchase their goods. But now that's all coming to an end. That's also what I discussed in one of my previous videos relating to the end times, the 2012 end of the financial system, what I believe is a value revolution. To make matters worse, the free market hasn't been allowed to operate. Therefore, the government has stepped in with the Federal Reserve, not just here in the US, but in Australia and some other countries where they're promoting these stimulus packages. Here's my prediction: it can't work. The US dollar is going to collapse. You cannot print paper money by the billions and trillions and not have a commodity lose its value. That is going to happen. It's not a matter of if. That is a foregone conclusion. And I think, given the timing of some of those Mayan prophecies, we will see that the so-called stimulus package working is really what economists call a dead cat bounce. It appears to be coming up a little, very much like a cat being thrown off a building, right? As it hits the cement, it bounces, only to fall down dead. So that's a rather grim prediction, but I believe it's one that you will see come to pass. And the second half of this prediction is what I believe, and I've been saying this for a while, is that the Canadian, American and Mexican governments will ultimately opt in a similar fashion to the European Union to create a North American Union, out of which will emerge a new currency. There's some speculation about the Amero. I don't know whether it will be called the Amero. There are some arguments on both sides of the fence about that. But strangely, just a month and a half ago, the Chinese started calling for a new currency to emerge. And I think that will happen. You will see gold, as I've said to many of my corporate clients since 2000, 2001, increasing in price. And I advised them when gold was around $300 an ounce US to put their money into gold. That is now just hovering under $1,000 US. And I believe that gold will continue to increase, maybe $1,200, $1,500, even $2,000 to $3,000 an ounce over the next 3 or 4 years. So in terms of a prediction for investment, that's one to look out for. The other one is silver, and I was a little bit bullish on silver. I'm glad I was, because that's also a prediction that I think is going to come true in terms of where to put your money as an investment. Silver, I believe 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, silver took its biggest run in 23 years. And I think that will continue to escalate. And you can verify that. Go and try and buy a couple of silver coins right now. Very, very hard to get. That commodity is becoming scarcer as the US dollar begins to flood the market. Conclusion, the dollar will collapse. Gold and silver and other precious metals and basic commodities like agriculture will start to improve. And if you're holding US dollars, my prediction is get rid of it before you lose a lot of money. I'll be back again, hopefully before I finish this tour. I want to talk to you a little more while I've got the chance, and on certain days I'm a little bit more relaxed. Great seeing you all again. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.